What's up, guys? Staminus here, and welcome back to Dragon Quest VII Reimagined Blind. We made our way to the beacon. This is our next area for story progression, and it looks like we're following these footsteps. We obtained the glow moss in the last episode and applied some to that imp. So it looks like we need to come up here and take care of a shadow of some sort. Alright, very dark in this cave, and I love this dungeon music. I got interrupted, but oh well, we'll hear a bit of it more in a sec. Oh my, I love that. I absolutely love that limit. And I think Eric from Dragon Quest XI had something similar to that. So, oh nice, someone else has oomph. Perfect. Oh, two wands. So I'm very curious. I only ever played Dragon Quest XI once, and I didn't even really touch the post game, so doing a let's play of that should be a lot of fun. Whoa! Whoa! I am so glad I got into a fight right there. Damn! What the hell? This is insane equipment. Used in battle to attack all enemies with the fathomless power of the deep. I can't believe enemies just dropped this, and then they dropped two of them. Definitely gonna be putting that on. Let's compare this to the butterfly baton. Basically increasing my magical might plus like 50. Attack also goes up plus 40. MP absorption does go down by 2%, but that's a-okay. Damn, I forgot. 15 HP restored each turn. But I don't really need that, in all honesty. 10% chance of beginning. Yeah, we're gonna stick to this. The fact that I got two of them was insane. See, this is the type of drop rate you want. Final Fantasy IV should have took notes, but Final Fantasy IV did come out before this. If only there was like a mod where you can play Final Fantasy IV with like a higher drop rate. Maybe one does exist, but that drop rate in 4 is ridiculous. Alright, got two of them, no reason to not put this on. It doesn't look like I'm using Sperm Oven. In fact, I'm not using them, but just you wait. Ice has mastered the... Aisha has mastered the Heroine Invocation. The moment he gets Luminary Druid, I might actually swap these two. Because having two magic users. Ruffs tends to do the most damage. And then Hero, I think, does even more than Aisha. So depending on my situation, if I want 3 physical fighters, 1 mage, or 2 of each. How do I get to that room? There's some arrows I missed up. Alright, Seed of Sorcery. Most likely going to be playing this game. This Let's Play is going to go all throughout the month of March. I imagine I'll have it done in like 2 weeks, but depending on the post game, it might actually be like 3 weeks. We'll just have to see how much this game has to offer. Fatal Flash. Is that a def attack? 15 vocational points, awesome. Single file. You know, I wonder if there's an incentive for... Like, do you get more powerful the more jobs you have mastered? I don't think it necessarily works like that, though. I know you get, like, more ability points, but... It would make the game interesting, though, because, You know what? I might play around with that. Because playing the rest of the game with these overpowered jobs isn't going to make the game as fun. I might kind of experiment with other jobs. I almost feel like I'm handicapping myself this way, but... you know what? I'm gonna play around with that because... Oh, I'm gonna keep Sir Melvin still learning his jobs, but since everybody else is pretty much done... Yeah, I think I'm gonna give that a shot. Thief, Troubadour, Sailor... What do I want to do with her? Do you have the Sage unlocked? Well, I don't want to necessarily mix those. Actually, what pair is good with the Sage? Auxiliary, Soothing Song, Hymn of the Air. Yeah, this matches well with the Sage. So Sage, Troubadour, Yeah, I'm gonna play around with this a bit because, in all honesty, it's my first time playing. I don't know. I want to have some fun with this. If I keep up with my current setup, it's gonna be nothing but Bright Splitter on every single enemy. Sage, Troubadour, just to have a bit of fun. Uh, so you'll go a magic route. I'll have you do a physical. Well, I don't know if there's any point in doing physical with you because you don't even have any you don't have access to any weapons, which is kind of annoying. Well, weapons, I mean like physical weapons. You tend to have nothing but staffs. See, that is the thing though. You're not really. No, on second thought, I'm not gonna do that. The game allows you to master like every job, but for example, I can't. Actually, damn, she has access to basically everything, even magical weapons. But someone like you, you're very limited in what you can equip. You can daggers, but you can't equip swords and spears from the looks of it. I was gonna play around with that, but I don't know. I've already seen what all of the jobs can do in this game, so at least all the jobs I have right now. I don't know if there's any other jobs. Be feeling that, finding that out soon enough, but see the magic. Yeah, if it wasn't for that equipment thing, I probably would play around with that, but I don't see that. I'm gonna stop using him on him because he's like 7 levels below, so his magic is actually pretty good. Alright, that weather app seemed very inaccurate because it says 69, but at like 9:30 in the morning when I woke up. But when I went to pick up the trash, it felt extremely hot. The sun was beaming. So I don't think that weather app is super accurate. Eventually it's gonna, later on this week, it's gonna go back up to the 90s, like mid 90s. So it looks like summer is quickly approaching. Or at least the heat here in Arizona comes pretty damn early. Daylight savings was last week. We don't, daylight savings doesn't really take effect in Phoenix. We don't do anything with the clock, but should still get darker later on.
Excellent.
Alright. Togrus 2. What did that do again? Fully restore all parties members' HP. Very good item. Alright. That'll come very handy if I fight an enemy that drains all my MP. Alright. Interesting little area. I imagine I have to get on this platform. I want this chest. And it's probably possible to fall down, so be careful. Yeah, I tried to do that real quick. I was not gonna wait all that time if I didn't need to. Solar fan, I'm pretty sure you can equip this. Damn, increased charm by quite a bit. I keep forgetting to search up just what the hell does charm do. I think that's the status that's completely exclusive to this game. Well, this and 6. Something tells me it works kind of in tandem with luck, but I could be wrong. Seed of agility. Why are you so slow, Melvin? This is insane. Is that a seed of sorcery? Oh, your magic will catch up. You're like 8 levels behind, so give that to Maribel. Suit of magic armor. Nice. Element damage taken reduced by 10%. Defense, magical might and mending go up. I'm gonna equip this. You, Aisha, and Mervin. What do you have on equipped right now? Oh wow, that's a lot better than this. Why did I even bother buying this? Well, the element damage is nice, but this increases it from 8 to 10%, while also increasing my stats. Alright. Where do you think you're going? Alright, what? Open the doors? Nice. Top hat that's outdated. It's so damn dark in this area. Or if I can somehow get to that... Oh, there we go. Looking to the right, if I can somehow get on that, I can unlock that chest. Aurora Blade, I think I already have one of those. Maybe not. Damn. Light damage when attacking can be used in battle to assail enemies with a huge explosion of light, so it's light elemental. Very high attack. Charm will go down and block chance will go down. Alright, are these two gonna collide? Awesome. And how do I get to the north? Oh, these two collide. If I just keep riding this one, then I can get to that one. Elf and elixir, nice. Alright, and now we wait and wait. Not that one, but the next one. And wait. Oh shit. I ran off to the corner. Something tells me you could probably fall off, so I'm not even gonna bother trying. Yeah, the nostalgia with Budokai Tenkaichi 2 really hitting right about now. Alright, let's see. I've really been getting back into anime. Crunchyroll is awesome. Being able to stream all the animes that I wanted to watch. Alright, looks like it's time to fight a boss. So let's make sure we're all ready and healed up. Alright. Black flame is flickering ominously. Prism do. Perhaps now we're fighting a boss? Whoa. Took us to the other world. You tend to see this a lot in like RPGs and stuff, this like world where you're like floating around. Cool.
Finally, you have arrived. I have long since grown tired of waiting. And even longer since has the grinding into dust of mere cattle ceased to amuse me. I had hoped that an opponent truly deserving of annihilation at my hand would one day appear. And here you are at last. But you took too long. Far too long. I have thought to toy with my prey before destroying it. But I have grown impatient. You will be crushed forthwith, and without Have mercy.
Alright, this musclehead is gonna attack us. And he has a whip. So he probably has a group attack with that. Alright, are you weak to anything that I have? Big Bango, really? Okay. Start off by increasing our defenses. Where is my ability that increases magical defense? How do I not have that? That is one flaw in the setup that I have. In fact, I'm probably gonna have to do something to negate that later on. Oh, hell no. I didn't know that thing had a downfall like that. Magma Blast, I'll do that later. Oomph on Rock. How did you miss an enemy that was dazed like that? Or Dance or Multi-Fist? Multi-Fist is a bit cheaper. Damn, you can get that doing a lot of damage. Alright, that thing's gonna run off soon, thankfully. Oof. It's significantly less. Aisha, you're probably gonna get replaced with Mervyn. I could see that happening. Focus Maximus attacks. Fortunately for you, that does quite a bit of damage. Alright, let me heal up. Multi-fist spam. You know, I haven't done this, so why not? Let me see what this does exactly. Okay, it looks like it's probably more defensive. Oh damn, I should have done Oomph on Hero. Well, goddamn. Alright, he can dish out a lot of damage, can he? And how about this? 21 hits. Well, 19, 20, you missed like once or twice. Yeah, he definitely felt that. Damn, he came out and hit 5 times. That was nice. Omni heal. Yeah, that Omni heal is crazy. It's a full cure on the whole party.
Easy peasy.
But just like Final Fantasy V, your strength really comes from your jobs and the abilities of those jobs.
I feel great.
Aisha has leveled up. Luminary Hustle Dance. A Black Fragment. You know, I really don't need 3 physical fighters. I can set up a lot faster with 2 magic users.
Possible, but it matters not. Buckingham may be saved, but the sea dragon will remain frozen for all time.
Now. Now.
Oh,
Everyone, on behalf of all the citizens of the Kingdom of Buckingham, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
King Buckingham! Lady Anais has disappeared! And they found this weird old man in her bedroom!
Weird? How dare you? And just who might you be, if you please? If you shut up and listen, I'll tell you. I am Scuba, king of the seabed. I was sent here by the water spirit herself. I brought a message for the people of Buckingham. A message from Anais.
A message? Why would you be delivering messages for Lady Anais? King Scuba, was it?
An excellent question. And here's your answer. Because she's living under the sea with me now.
She jumped. I knew it. Oh, how could she have been so rash?
Oh, stop your sniveling, man. The only one who's jumping here is you, to conclusions. If you know Anais at all, you'll know that she's been doing very little lately, except praying for the Almighty to reunite her with her beloved Sharpeye. Unfortunately, the poor fellow's ship is frozen solid, and it's likely to stay that way for all eternity. Even if the Demon King were to be defeated, it would take centuries for the ice to melt. It goes without saying that she doesn't have much hope of living that long. But that didn't stop her praying. She said she'd do anything to be alive when her beloved finally thawed out. Anyway, somehow or other, her pleading made its way down to the seabed. My kingdom, as you may recall. Now, I'm not a particularly powerful king, but I do have one rather impressive ability. The ability to grant life to any creature in my kingdom for as long as I see fit. Well, Anais was determined. She was willing to come and live underwater as long as it meant that she might eventually be able to see her husband again. So when your heroes here beat the monsters up in that tower and lifted the curse hanging over the country, I thought it might be a good time to come and fetch her.
I had no idea she would go to such lengths.
Well, she did, and there's no turning back now. I was able to turn her into a mermaid, but making her human again would be beyond my powers. She knows this, of course, but that was the sacrifice she was willing to make in order to see her husband again. Now, as for her message, she wanted to say thank you to you, King Buckingham, and to all of your subjects. And she doesn't want you to feel sorry for her. She's happy with her choice. She's made her peace with it. There, all done. Right, I'm off.
Wait, I must ask you something before you leave. What became of the child that Anais was carrying when the kingdom was plunged into darkness?
Well, I don't know for certain, but I have an inkling. You see, the Sea Dragon and all its crew have enjoyed the personal protection of the water spirit since ancient times. That's why her captain always bears the mark of the spirit somewhere on his body. It's passed down through the generations. Which means, by the way, that any child Sharkai and Anais had would also carry the mark. But I digress. I have a sneaking suspicion that Sharkai's child wasn't abducted by the Demon King, as some say, but was in fact spirited away by the water spirit for its own safety. I wouldn't be surprised if he or she was living a perfectly normal, perfectly peaceful life somewhere. But I'm just a humble servant of the spirit. I don't know any of this stuff for sure. Anyway, I'm glad to see the darkness got lifted and that we're no longer sealed off from the world and everything. Water spirit's blessings and all that.
Perhaps I failed to grasp the depths of Anais' love for Sharkai. Still, we must heed her message. We must not feel sorry for her. She has taken her fate in her own hands. It is time we did the same. The palace lighthouse must be lit. Please, follow me.
Alright, and I'm actually going to end the episode here. It's getting kind of lengthy. On the next episode, we're going to light this lighthouse apparently and see what else is in store for us. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next part. Thanks for watching.